Hi everyone, this is Amanita. So in this video I'm doing a flip through of the Pythonic tarot. This is an indie deck. This is published by Jessica Shaw, as it says on the booklet. I think this is from New Zealand. I'm not 100% sure, but this did take a little while to arrive, especially during this pandemic and everything for me, because I live in Arizona, I live in the US. So it came in a package and everything, which I opened, and you get the booklet and you get the deck, which is wrapped in this black paper, which really gives that personal kind of feel to it, that this is something that this artist has published herself. So you can go on her website, which is going to be in the description, to find this deck. And I really love the art, which is why I purchased it. And so on this side it does say, thank you so much for your purchase. She recommends that you edge the deck with black permanent marker, which was something that I was thinking about doing, and she does recommend that. She tells you how. Here's her Instagram, Circle of Wolves, New Zealand, NZ, and she has a Facebook as well. You can check out on Instagram Black Mirror Oracle and Pythonic Tarot. Sorry, I know it's a little blurry. So she also has a stamp on the front, and I'm going to look through the booklet quickly so we can see as well what the booklet has to offer. So we flip through. Here's a preface, which gives you some spreads as well. And looks like this is not a colored, and there's no photos in here, so if you are purchasing this deck, keep that in mind. There is no photos of the card in the booklet. So she does talk about her artwork descriptions. These are her artwork descriptions. And also she does give these associations. She gives you the card meanings and her art descriptions. And I mean, let me see. We had a so yeah, she gives the artwork description and the card meanings. Then there's the suit of crystals, which is pentacles, the suit of blades, which is swords, the suit of wands, which is wands, with the suit of chalices, which is cups. And she gives the meanings and the artwork description. She gives correspondences, divination, tarot spreads. So the major arcana, and then you see the minor arcana here. For the artwork descriptions. And we also see that she does give these astrology associations as well. And I did notice, so princess and the knight, queen, and king. Knights are fixed, queens are cardinal, and kings are mutable signs in astrology for this deck. So yes, this is the booklet. Looks like it has some very nice information for us. So here's the deck. I'm going to open up this deck now. I'm going to move this book aside for now. So here it is. I'm just going to open this. I'm going to tear that open. And so it's in this cardboard to keep it together. I'm going to move this out of the way too. Okay. So here's the back of the card, and let me take this thing off as well. Okay, so here is the deck. Let me get a card to compare. Rider-Waite-Smith. So it is a little bigger than the standard like Rider-Waite-Smith card. As we know, it is not really edged or anything, as we can see. So cardstock is actually pretty similar to this one. It seems it's a little thinner. So yeah. So now I'm gonna flip through the cards, and it does seem to be reversible if you read reversals. Let me get good lighting here. So here's the Fool. The Sorceress. The High Priestess. The Empress. And here is the Emperor. I just cleaned the camera really quick if you didn't know. It looked a little, things looked a little blurry. So here's the Hierophant. And the Lovers. I always love a deck that does give her artwork descriptions as well, and she also gives you the meaning. So here's the Chariot. Let me move that on. The Strength. I really like that Strength card as the constellation and everything. The Hermit. The Web of Weird. And Justice. The Hanging Woman. Here's the Death. And here's the other Death. You have an option of which death you would like to use, and I know that she does go into description of the different herbs, the different plants that she used in the death cards and everything. So here's the Temperance. And here's the Devil. The Tower. The Star. I love the Star. The Moon. The Sun. And Judgment. The World. And now this is the suit of Pentacles that we're going into, and it is renamed to Crystals. So here's the Ace of Crystals, 2 of Crystals, the 3 of Crystals with my favorite mushrooms, 4 of Crystals, 5 of Crystals, 6 of Crystals, 7 of Crystals, 8 of crystals, the 9 of crystals, and the 10. So it is kind of like traditional Rider-Waite-Smith imagery, if that is a system that you follow, but it does seem to be kind of different. So I would think if you have only read the Rider-Waite-Smith deck and you've never gone out of that system, like, it could be a little confusing to you to see these cards. I personally don't mind at all, and I'd really love to see like how an artist really understands something and depicts, and I'm interested to hear in her descriptions of her cards as well. So here's the King of Crystals. I don't know if kings are before knights in this. And the Queen. It might just be that she puts that it's just the king is just put there first, but he's supposed to be, you know, they're supposed to be the highest ranking though, still. And there's the Queen, and here's the Knight, and she's riding a wild boar. And the Princess. And now the suit of swords. So we have the symbol of Pluto with the triple goddess symbol though, with Pluto in the middle. And here's the Ace of Blades and the 2 of Blades, the 3 of Blades, 4 of Blades, 5 of Blades, and the 6. And 7. And 8. And 9. And 10. Here's the King, the Queen. She reminds me of the Morrigan, the goddess the Morrigan. The Knight of Blades, riding a bat, and the Princess of Blades, with her owl. And here's the Ace of Wands. So in terms of representation though, I've noticed, you know, there's not really any people of color in this deck. Here's the 2 of Wands. 3. But it does, you know, seem more Celtic, and you wouldn't really, and Nordic, and you wouldn't really expect to see that, I guess, in this kind of deck. So here's the 4 of Wands, and the 5, and the 6, and 7, and 8. Very magical suit of wands. There's the 10 of Wands with Saturn's symbol. And here's the King and the Queen. The Knight riding the Phoenix. That looks like a lapis lazuli. I'm not sure though. I will have to read what that is. So, but here's the Knight of Wands and the Princess. And now the suit of cups. I mean, chalices in this deck. So here's the Ace of Chalices and the 2 of Chalices and the 3. I love the colors on the chalice cards. Here's the 4. You can see a card dropping. Here's the 5 and the 6 of Chalices. That's really cute. The 7. I really love like glowing mushrooms. And the 8. Not a traditional depiction, like it does loosely follow Rider-Waite-Smith. I don't know if it's more numerological of a deck or like kind of more astrological. It does seem to go off those kind of correspondences more. But here's the 8. I really like that 8 of chalices. So I love those mushrooms. So here's the 9. And here is the 10. And here's the king, the queen, the knight, who's riding the toad, and the princess. So that is the whole deck, and I really do like how in this deck kind of the suits are more color themed, so we can see that the cups are clearly more, you know, blues and purples and everything like that. And the wands are definitely more yellow, orange, red kind of colors. And with the suit of air, we can see it's definitely more greens, blues, lime green, light blue, those kind of colors. Some like purpley, like definitely more mentally kind of colors. And the crystals are very green. It has a lot of green in the crystals, as we can see. And the major arcana is very colorful, for the most part. Yeah, I really like it. I really love the art. I think this artist did a great job, really, which is why I bought the deck, of course. But if you want to buy the deck, it's going to be... the website's going to be in the description, so you can check it out. I'll also try to remember to put her Instagram in the description as well, so you can check that out too. And let's give this a shuffle and see how it shuffles. I'm just going to shuffle it like this. Like, and also shuffle to the side. Yeah, that's actually very... it goes together like butter, very smooth actually. And yes, you can read reversals, it looks like. I really like how it's kind of like very gray in the back, but then when you flip a card over, it's very colorful. The card is very colorful, but the back is more gray, and I actually really like that effect. So if you want to stick around, I'm just going to take out a card and read about it from the book, so that we can get an idea of how the book is. So yes, these cards seem pretty easy to shuffle. If you riffle shuffle, I think you'll be able to. I don't really. So here's the Two of Blades. So we're gonna read about this Minor Arcana card. So we go to the Minor Arcana and the Two of Blades, and it is divided into the suits. It says, 2 curved blades adorned with lunar crescents and dark purple jewels across each other. They rest over the celestial shape of a Merkaba, a vehicle made of light, which is said to grant access to higher realms. Mer means light, Ka means spirit, and Ba refers to the body, indicating that the force field of energy and light which surrounds the human form, as well as the emotional and spiritual bodies. The light expands in all directions and through all dimensions. Though ruled by air, the Two of Blades is rich with the symbolism of water. The card represents the fusion of the two elements, signifying a harmonious melding of the mind and the emotions to bring a sense of inner peace. The moth rises upwards, seeking a supernal light, following the sound of a higher call that can only be heard when the mind and heart are in alignment. The water droplets that fall from the back of the moth and between the blade represent purification, the release of heavy emotions, and the cleansing of dark thoughts. And now I'm also going to read the meaning, because that was her art symbolism, so now I'm going to read about what the meaning of the card is. So this is the moon in the first decan of Libra. And upright, she gives the upright and reversed meaning. And she says, peace after conflict. Balance, remaining neutral, seeking more information before making a choice, choosing a position and moving towards it. Messages from afar, something lurking in the background that threatens a sense of harmony. Dealing with the light and dark aspects of the mind, the need to make clear decisions and put logic over emotion, communication imbalances in relationships which impact your sense of inner calm or pull you away from your spiritual path, accepting the need to make a difficult decision which may cause you emotional pain. Conflict between heart and mind can only be resolved through a conversation with spirit, fresh energy and movement, turning awareness towards the inner self, a time for calm and meditation, two people parting ways, guarding the heart, the awareness that clinging to relationships can sometimes result in suffocation, seeking inner security and support from friends. Reversed, it means stress, doubt, lies and betrayal, a verbal duel, arguments and conflict in communication with others. Refusing to make an important decision or making a reckless choice without thinking of the consequences, lacking of foresight, land you in a place of trouble, unreliable friends, feeling caught in a place of stagnation, unable to make clear choice to move forward, the mind in chaos due to an influx of stressful information, overthinking, a malicious person who is not to be trusted, allowing emotions to dominate wisdom and intellect. So that is a minor arcana card. I also do want to read us a major arcana. I'll just look for one. These cards do fly everywhere, it seems like, so. The major arcana, I'm just going to do the first major arcana I can see. So here's the High Priestess, which is another 2, so we have another 2 to read about. So we're going to read about the High Priestess. And I'm going to read you her artwork description so you can kind of get an understanding for where she comes from with that. So, she says, floating silently over the great sea, intuitively led by the primordial waters of the Mother, the High Priestess wanders, drifting and dreaming. Her throne and garments are formed from water, and her feet sink beneath the surface of the waves. With all the sensitivity of water, she is highly receptive to the messages from the spirits of the West, the land of death. With her left hand raised, she pulls the power of the gathering storm down into herself. Her hair is half light and half dark, signifying not only her dualistic nature, but also her ability to see clearly into the mysteries of both life and death, light and shadow. In her right hand, she holds the pomegranate. In many cultures, the many-seeded pomegranate is a symbol of the ancestors. Its roundness is said to represent the eternal nature of the goddess. Persephone ate of the pomegranate and was then bound to spend 1/3 of the year in gloomy darkness, and the other parts of the year was spent with the deathless gods. Eating of the pomegranate seeds consecrated her to the underworld. The High Priestess has no fear of these mysteries, yet obtaining her knowledge of what lies beneath the veil came at a great cost to her, and so she remains distant, her face and identity hidden, her ego of least importance. Her existence is dedicated to the pursuit of esoteric gnosis, and she will forever follow and flow with the tides of the great sea, navigating by her intuitive power alone and complete faith in her Mother to guide her. The High Priestess acts as a bridge over the abyss. It is only through her assistance and by the grace of her wisdom that we can make the journey over the chasm. Her lunar radiance creates a beacon for us to follow out of the black emptiness of the night desert. The High Priestess also unifies the internal self with the spiritual self in order to prepare us for divine work. She represents internal changes which manifest externally, inspiring us to pursue our highest self, encouraging us to merge with spirit. The path she rules is misty and moist, fertile with possibility. It is the road walked by mystics, healers, nurses, midwives, and those who dedicate their lives in service to others. So that is her artwork description for the High Priestess. And now I will read the meaning of the High Priestess. Okay. So we have the upright and reversed meaning and the keywords for... There are keywords for the Major Arcana, which were not there for the Minor Arcana. The keywords are elemental water, Luna, clarity, dreams, imagination, perception, wisdom, secrets, change, memory, receptivity, meditation, esotericism, the great sea, incarnations, dark feminine power, limitlessness, healing, intuition, independence, equilibrium, self-empowerment, self-sufficiency, the dark moon, the chthonic realm. Upright. Persephone, the female archetype who personifies darkness, psychic power, and all the dreamlike qualities of the subconscious, possessing a power which is entirely her own, hidden influences, alternation of consciousness, seeing beyond illusions, seeking the mystery beyond the veil, a vessel who carries spiritual water, acting in alignment with the soul's purpose, ceremony and ritual, solace and healing, profound spiritual and emotional sensitivity, retreat from the material world in order to develop spiritual power, inner wisdom and a deep connection to the inner self, knowing yourself and understanding who you really are, balance between the light and dark, masculine and feminine qualities present within you, darkness which is not negative but rich and beautiful, trusting in the voice of intuition with the clarity to discern the difference between true intuitive feelings and fear, floating passively on the current, trusting the tide will lead you where you need to go, discovering access to the eternal reservoir of watery power which is available to anyone with the intention and courage to seek it, venturing below the earth and into the waters of the underworld to unearth chthonic treasure, a silent awareness of your connection to divinity, powerful dreams and visions, being influenced by the moon, accepting the flow of change, following your true path and not fighting against it. And the reversed meaning is a complete lack of emotion or opposite, drowning in tears, sexual tension, childhood trauma needs to be healed, a haunting sense of doubt, disconnection from your inner power, ignoring the reality of your situation, feeling lost in the desert without a beacon to follow, caught in the material aspects of life, spiritual struggle, clouded vision, escapism, exhausting yourself by trying to control things too much, a different transition, not trusting your instincts, mistaking strong emotional urges for intuition, blindly following a spiritual teacher or group that isn't what it seems, being spiritually and emotionally drained by an attachment to someone who is emotionally dependent on you, beware of needing to be needed. So, that is what the book says. The book has spoken. And so something I have noticed reading her kind of descriptions, they're definitely not very literal. Like, there are some literal things in there, of course, but I know sometimes you might see the High Priestess more literally and practically, like day to day, as someone who kind of like a bouncer at a club type of person, like someone who someone like who has the inside scoop, someone who has the secrets, who can choose whether to let you in on it or not. So it's definitely a very deep and more psychological kind of deck. It really gets into the undercurrents of things rather than like more literally, physically, materially, and it's definitely more of a behind the scenes type of very magical style, esoteric kind of deck, I would say. Very witchy style to it. So, yeah. I really like the deck. I think it's a very beautiful art. So, thank you everyone for watching. If you want to check out this artist, link in the description, as well as all my links. And thank you for making this deck, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.